Okay, I lost stream for some reason. I think maybe the kid might have done something. So not sure what you saw. And we're going to print overlapping areas here from the parent. When we enter, we'll get rid of this shape name. And let's run it again. Area 2D. Shape 2D, transform 2D, shape owner, get transform. Shape owner, get transform. So that would be this guy. And the transform looks like that. And let's just look up a transform 2D to understand what we're seeing. Origin. The X and the Y. Looks like it's a little backwards. I'm seeing X, Y, and origin. Right. Well, hang on now. So I know I've got a unique shape. All right, these are examples of how they're using it. I lost stream. I don't know what happened. I think maybe my kid might have clicked on something. So I'm back now. So I'm just reading right now some of the docs. The base class for all 2D shapes. Returns true if this shape is colliding with another. This method needs the transform matrix for this shape, the shape to check collisions with, and the transformation matrix of that shape. So transform is not what I'm looking for, because transform is going to be relative space. I need to get position, right? So if we have shape, does shape have position? And I think the answer is no, because base object does not do anything like that. No. Shape is directionless when it. So what is the sense? Come on, Schultz. Gosh, we're so close. Emitted when another area enters. And this is for an area 2D. Well, that's weird. I mean, I can think of another way to do this. It just seems like there should be a cleaner way to get this information. And perhaps there is. Let's look at tile map real quick. So we have get used cells is going to return an array of cells. Map to world. Map position. See, that's what I want to use. I get the problem though. Like, but that's why I want to get the shape information. Like, I want to, can I ask it the shape? What shape is this? If I could just get that. And I suppose it's not necessarily, the word is not, I'm not looking for I just want to know where in space the shape that we've collided with is. That's all I want to know. Because with that, I can go, okay, well, let's take all sides of it, and the center point of the center of those values is the tile. That's how I would figure this out, I would think, but I can't get the darn information that I need as far as what, because there's a unique shape created for each of the tiles that I'm setting. Like if I set 2 by 2 next to each other, they will have different IDs. So if I go like this and I just print out self shape and we drive over those areas, we should get some unique numbers each time. Each one of these should be a unique number. 0, 1, 3, 2. Right. So there's 4 numbers right there. All unique. So the shapes are unique. That's good. Area 2D area. Area shape entered. Area ID. So why are we getting something called an area ID? Self shape, area shape. So we're getting the ID of the area and the area shape. And then we have our self shape. And our self shape is where we can find the owner and get the shape owner get transform. And when we do this, it's the same even though we're going over unique shapes, right? Right, because the transform, nothing special about the transform. It's I don't want the transform. Okay, so maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something else about shape. Let's go back to shape 2D. Property. All right, time to search Google. Shape 2D, get position. I don't even think see, this isn't going to make any sense. Ah. I guess I'm just confused. Like, what's the point of the shapes to begin with? Like, why would I want this thing? You can check. I mean, I can't even. You can't even do a collide. Transform 2D. The origin is empty. Like okay, so I'm getting the transform. So let's just see. I mean, origin. God, I really thought this was going to be like 5 seconds to get this going. And here we are. Let's just see if I use get origin, what do I get? 0. All right, because I don't know where we are in space, bro. I need to know where we are in space. Come on. I mean, the word to use is position. But if, like, I need the... All right, let's look at collision object 2D. Returns the child index of the shape 2D. Child index. Okay. Shape owner. Get shape index. Let's see, this might be something. So we're gonna do shape owner get shape index instead of, and let's see what numbers we're getting here. It expects 2 arguments and the shape ID. So we're getting the owner and the shape ID. Let's try again. It's the exact same numbers. Well, I'm sorry for the dead air, guys. This is just how it goes. is it? All right. Going to Reddit of all places. Collide methods. Okay, so it looks like it's possible to shape 2D, and we're returning arrays. Most of these are arrays. And it would be collide. As a Boolean returns true. Collide and get contacts. Here we go. Returns a list of points where this shape touches another. If there are no collisions, this list is empty. That's what we want. Collide and get contacts. Okay, so parent area, collide and get contacts. And we use the local. This method needs the transform matrix for this shape, the shape to check collisions. And okay, so if that's what we need, then we need the shape 2D. Shape get owner shape. Shape get owner shape. So there's our shape. Now we do that. And we do... Okay, I think I'm going to be able to do it. Because if I can get the collision points. And collide and get contacts, we're going to use the transform... Yeah, I mean, this guy's talking about doing the exact same thing that I'm talking about. He's literally got... Okay, I mean, this is literally the exact same thing. So let me just... I'm just going to copy this guy's code. Because this is... Yeah. He's got some different names for everything. So, like that. And it makes an assumption that we're in the same which we're not. Okay. No. No. So this should be in an array. So let's print this out. Okay, so hopefully this gives us a list of the colliding points. Can we go from there? It's an empty array. Man, effing tastic. So basically, what I'm seeing is that if I do there should be a way for me to give like a test collision and go, okay, and then get a list of the colliding points. And if I have that, it just seems like this should be a way. I should have everything I need. Yeah, so I've just been drowning this whole time. I'm just drowning in the data. I mean, the other way to consider this, another way to think about this, well, see, that's what I'm trying to do. So I can, here's another way that I could possibly do this. Because if I go with area entered, I can get the object that's entered the space, right? Now, what assumptions can I make about that object? Well, I know that it has a collision body, and I know that it's got an area 2D. I know that I'm getting it right from the start here. I know that that has bounds that are defined to it. In this case, the transform, which, or actually, sorry, the collisions. No, where is it? Where did I? Oh, the collision shape 2D, right? So I have that. Maybe that's all I need. So that's relative position. That's going to get me the relative position on the object. So if I can get the position of this space of the player in the world, which I can, and I know the shape of the collision, the bounds of it, right? Then I can cycle through here. Right. But I can cycle and go, okay, I know that we're around here, I've collided with something. And I can basically go, No, I. Yeah, that's not necessarily the problem. It's that my player is going to be here when it collides with a tile here. So even if I were like, oh yeah, I hit right here, like how am I going to be able to make the guess that it was this tile here that things happened on? I need to know what they're colliding with. I totally agree. And all I'm getting is the parent area 2D. That's all I know. But that's why the key is the shape, because the shape is, it knows that it's a thing in space. And that's why I think that what I need to do is I need to take this particular thing. Right. Well, and that's the thing is they are. So that's where I'm getting a little frustrated about this because area shape has entered, and then we have self shape. This is the shape of our self of the thing that it has entered, right? So their IDs are different. So like for instance, let me show you. So if I print this debug here, and let me get rid of that. And we just float over these different shapes here. There's one, here's another one, here's another one. So we went over 4 different collision areas. And we go back here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have a unique ID. So I know that the shapes are unique. Right? You'd think. The problem is I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are in space. I don't know how to get that. That's my problem. So like what I'm trying to figure out is like, okay, well I have the shape. Where are you in space? And I can't seem to get that information because the shape is a shape 2D, and a shape 2D has absolutely no information other than a transform. It does not give me its position in the world space. And so, in the inheritance here, none of these would have that. It is not part of a node 2D or node. Right. So that's what I need to figure out is how to get. So I can do this collide and get contacts. So if I have shape and I go collide and get contacts, and then I figure out how to get it what I need to give it here, then in theory I should be able to do that. So area shape entered, area ID, area shape and self shape. So these are the 2 key things, area shape and self shape. Collide and get contacts. So I'm going to local xform with shape xform. So we're going to do var shape transform equals parent area, and let's go back to our collision object stuff. And we're going to get shape owner. Right, but what I'm saying is, whatever this shape is, it's not what you're thinking. I literally, I don't have width. I don't have any of that. I don't have anything. Um, it has a transform, but the transform doesn't contain any spatial information. Um, so that's the part of this where I'm like, I don't understand. So yeah, so let me just try this. I'm gonna so we're gonna try shape owner get transform, and we're gonna do the shape owner. See, none of this is right because I can't get the transform of a shape. Let me see. Yeah, there's absolutely no transform on the shape itself. So how the hell am I supposed to even get the damn shape's transform? Find owner. There's the shape. Because this is getting the shape owner get trans parent area. Okay, we'll keep this. So there's our transform. Local transform with shape. So that's where we're going to get the area shape. So we need to go var and we're going to do area dot shape owner get shape area dot shape find owner. This is bizarre. This is just bizarre. And we'll call this collide shape. Okay, so there's our shape. So that's the shape 2D. And then we need to get the man, now the word shape isn't looking right to me. So shape transform, which is identical to this again, and we just delete that because we're doing area. And then it's going to be area shape instead of self shape. And then let's see if this works. Var contacts, and let's see if we get a list of contacts. I don't think this is going to work. I think there's... Wait a second. Son of a bitch. They're all the same. Well, what's our... what's the... Let's just look at the two different transforms here. And just see if they are different. No. So how am I getting 15? I'm close. I can't. I mean, I am. Because I literally can't get anything else. I can only get the transform. It's all relative to itself. I don't know where it is. Ah! Right. I understand that. I understand. I tried it. I realized that I was probably going to get nothing, and I didn't. But I thought maybe there's some like voodoo. Because I am, with this function... collide and get contacts, I do give it the object, the shape object with shape. Ooh, wait. So, okay, hang on. Collide and get contacts. Yeah, collide shape. So it knows. Hang on. I'm close. I'm really effing close. Local X form, shape X form. Hang on. Local X form. Let's try transform for us. Hang on a second. Maybe there's some voodoo about transform. No. Local X form. This method needs the transform matrix for this shape, the shape to check collisions with, and the transform matrix of that shape. I've given it all of it. And I don't understand why I'm getting this 15 nonsense, though. That's the part that's confusing. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Hold on. It's relative. So it's relative to area. Hang on. So if I add these numbers to the position of the object with the area 2D, get parent area. So we already have that. Get parent. No. We need area, get parent. Area. So get parent of area. This is our object that has its position in space. So var parent, var object, let's call it. Okay. Hang on a second. Let's just try this. We're going to go just for fun, we're going to look at the. Okay, so we know that's good. So let's do object position. And now let's pretend like we take that list that we have and we add it to the position information of our. Oh, wait. Whoops. I have the parentheses in the wrong spot. I think I got it, man. It's all relative, but we know what it's relative to because we have that already. Because why am I getting the number 15? That's the part where... Right. Get parent area. What's it mad about? Let me write it again. Invalid area. Oh, I got area. Get parent. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we do have positional data. So let's just do this math in our head. Let's take... Okay. So if we're at 5 by 12 and our grid is 32, 5 is 160. Okay, so we're here, 3 times 32 is 96. Our position is 114 when this occurs, so we're a little bit past this area here when it hits. That's fine based off our speed. I'm sure we're close enough just to get something going. Now, okay, so if I were to take... How many commas do we have here? We got a bunch. Are these... But how would these be relative? 14. Go through the contact points and add the player position. I'm almost there. It's got to be more so the... It's going to be a square. The contact points account for where the collision shape is in space. And so the collision space comes off of... Okay, so hang on a second. I got to do a lot of weird stuff to figure this out. Var object. So if we go... So let me draw what's happening. Okay. So if we don't think about the visual stuff that we're seeing, if we just think about the colliding stuff. Well, no, I know what's going on. This is the first time where I actually kind of have to write it down to visualize, but I know what's going on. So here's the shape of our object as it's drawn, right? The visual shape. And here's the tile that we're colliding with. But what's really going on is if we were to zoom in here, so we've got our actual bounding box for the collision, and this object has its bounding box, which is wider than the actual tile, right? So if we were to zoom in here, we would have a square. I don't know if this is going to show up. We would have a square. So let's say we're zooming in. So it would look like these two big squares right here, basically. So if we were to zoom in on the actual collision space, we have an overlap like this. That's that 15. So what's happening is we've got the 1, 0 at this point, and the 15, 0 here at that point, and we have the 1, 15 at this point, and then we have the 15, 15 here. So these are the, let me go back to the collision shape overlaps, basically. And we'd have a lot more if we weren't dealing with squares, and it would get kind of weird. So now that we have that, and we know that we need to use a bunch of transform information to figure out the exact spaces that this is happening in. So the question then becomes, what the hell can I do with that is useful to what I'm attempting to do? So, because what I really need to be able to do is poke that area in space and see in the tile space and see what cell corresponds with that collision layer, that collision space. I'm so close. God, this is weird though. It really doesn't seem like it should be this hard, but I think it's because I'm doing stuff that just like, it's because I'm using the tile maps in a way that's not like a 2D platformer. Like, yeah, no, but there's a reason why we're doing it this way. The reason is good. So I may need to write some custom stuff in our tile map code to help us. All right, we're getting there. But do you see? Let me show you. Do you see what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay. But it's still okay. So we got all that. So I will know the exact points in space where this is happening at, right? I can figure that part out now. It still leaves me with a problem, which is I don't know the tile that it is. I just know that a collision happened in that space. And that's where I'm saying, kind of like what you're saying, which is to store, so the collision right now, it says here use parent, right? So what I probably need to do is build an array of space where I can search it and say, in this world position here, what is the collision mask? Like, okay, an array, well, it would actually be a dictionary most likely, but It depends on how I do it. But anyways, it would be an array of points, and I would be able to look it up and then go, what ID is associated with this point as far as its collision elements. So if I say, if I use get used cells, so we're very close. This is vector 2 with the positions of all cells containing a tile from the tile sets, right? So we would do this somewhere, and then we would, this would be an array used cells. Although we don't even need to use get because it's a property, right? No, it's not. Except that yeah, it could be. It could be because, like, for instance, if we have two side by side, unless I change, because they would overlap, like these would overlap, but in theory, when I'm a player that's traveling, it's when I'm entering the array 2D. It's on entering. So I would need to track some stuff. Like I would need to track the cells. It should be possible so long as the player doesn't, well, even if they started with one on top, it should still be possible to track it. I would need to track a little bit. God, this seems like a lot of work. Again, now I've got this transform stuff going, or I've got the fuck. Why is this? Because the other way that I was thinking about doing this, or that could be done using the constraints that I have with this engine, is that when I'm setting a tile, like I select something like one of these, I know all the information about it when I'm setting it. And so a little bit like what you were talking about, if in our level editor we can pick from here and set it, but what's happening is it's adding a child sprite basically, and then if you remove it, it removes that sprite. Then the collision happens. We do the area shape on the sprite. It just seems like this should effing work with a tile map. Like, gosh darn it! Like I'm entering the space of an area. It just seems like this. All right. Well, let's look at physics again really quick. Yeah, I mean, this problem is just gonna... It's just bizarre that tile maps are specifically mentioned. Doing this with tile maps is specifically mentioned. This is so stupid. I just want it to be that we can just click and be done with it. Well, they're not really obstacle. Like, I'm using that word, but it's... Wait a minute. Right. A tile map is made up of cells. The cells... So let's look at set cell, for instance. Get cell. Get cell gives us a vec2. No. Get cell gives us an integer. But that cell being set let's go there. What if I do this on the cell level? Returns the tile index. So tile, it's called a tile. They refer to it as a tile. Tile index. Transform 2D tile set. What if I do it on the tile set? What if I do this on the tile set? What if I override the tile set? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Maybe that's my problem. Let's look up shape here. Come on. I don't need all that crap. Okay. Shape 2D. Tile get shape. Oh. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Can I search for a shape by tile get shape transform? Shape ID. Hang on a second. Right. Collision. Use parent. The shape ID is the same. Okay, hang on now. Can I get tile? Hang on. Can I get tile? Get. Okay. Can I get the tile by the shape ID? Tile get shape. Okay, hang on. We're getting close. Oh my lord. It was below the tile map. Tile get shape. Returns the tile's given shape. The ID would be returns the tiles. What is ID in this case? Shape 2D. That's our return. Tile get shape. Okay. Crap. Of course it's at the end of the stream. Of course it is. Let's go back to tile map real quick. And we need to get the tile set. Here we go. And it's a property. So let's go var tile map tile set equals let's put the object up first, and then we're gonna go say okay object no it's self, it's us, what am I saying? So that would be tile set. So I don't even need to do this, we just have tile set. Okay, so tile set that's the tile set. Now we have, can I give it a shape ID and get the tile back? That's all I need. Hey.
Dinner in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Because if I have to give it the ID, tile get shape ID. What ID does it want? Shape 2D. Okay, so we're so effing close. We're so close. Tile set shape. Tile set shape. Offset set. We don't want setters. But getters. Get shape. Tile get shape transform. Well, that's this because we're in the tile map that we're working with. Tile set is the tile set. It's the object that would make up the tile set. Optional collision shapes. But what ID would it want? Shape ID, but what's this ID? Tile get shape. Integer. So maybe I need to get some more information about our tiles. The set tile. You're right. Ah, fudge. So maybe I still have to build an array. So if I use, so if we go, no, that's not going to tell me. Get used cells is only going to give me a list of cells that the positions of all cells containing a tile from the tile set. If I use tile set ID, get tiles ID. So each tile must have an ID. We have. Okay. Oh, I get it. Tile shape get tile get shape ID of the tile. This isn't going to do it. Oh, fuck. ID is the ID. If you think about it, ID is these 0, 1, 2, 3. That's what they're talking about. Here's an array. Tile gets shapes. Returns an array of dictionaries describing the tile's shapes. So let's try that. Let's just see. Right. But the problem is that I'm getting the shape ID is different even though I'm using the exact same. So if I do like this, then we would get a different shape ID for this guy as for this guy too. So if I do tile get shapes and then I give it an ID like 0, which is the let's just see what we get with this. And I'm going to get rid of this debug print. This is going to print out a bunch of times. Shape transform. This isn't going to do it. Because the shape ID, golly. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. God, we're so close. Ah, we're so close. So I can search by it. So the shape ID is unique, and I'm seeing it. So if I were to so 0, so this guy has an ID of 1, 2, or has this object, this shape object, right? And when I go over those, I see that ID. So the red one doesn't have a collision shape. That's why I don't get one for it. But if I was to put this twice and we were to go over it, we're going to see the numbers change between. So like if let me take this and just make it another print statement at the start here. So if we go on ready and I do the print here, this is going to be, okay, so 5. So we're going to see a list of the shapes I just went over. I went over the white one first, then the blue ones, and then the white one again. So at the start here, using the get shapes for this particular ID, we see that shape ID. And then there it is. If I highlight it, you can see I went over the white one first, the blue one, and then the white one again. So now I can at least get the ID of the thing that I collided with. But I still don't know where it is. Which is a problem. But I do know I can use this collide and get contacts, right? So if I have that, I can get close to where it is. Yeah, it just, it really shouldn't be this hard. But again, I just think that when we're making levels, there is nothing better than just doing this. Pop, 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 play. Is it working? What do I want to have happen? Pop, 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 pop. And we just pop out, And then the reason why we're doing it this way, the reason why we want to have it be this tile map and be be like this is because we have this idea of having different biomes, and if we can have the same kinds of obstacles but they look slightly different in different biomes and stuff, then all we need to do is change the tile set graphics, change the tile set to be those new graphics, keep the tiles that those reference, the IDs, the same, and now we can easily have the exact same logic that we've built for everything, but have the look change when we want it to. Okay, so if I have the ID of the tile, then I can search what tiles exist in the space, and I can rebuild. What? I've been lurking for a while. Just want to say I scrolled down in IRL tech to see what it would be like. And the answer for me is it gets better. Real people. No shitting. Well, dude, I appreciate you hanging out, man. I'm just... I want to... the struggle is real. I know what you're talking about because, like... Thank you. There are people that... I don't know why the... Yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. I totally understand. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so what I got to write this down. I'm going to write this down in a to-do here. So here's what I'm going to do. So now that I know that I can get the ID of the shape that we're hitting, right? And it's the object reference. Now I can go and look up which tile that is, right? And it's and I'm getting there, right? So okay, so I have that. Oh God, go ahead. As long as it's not too dirty. So with that, I can look up the information about its collision, or all the tiles that have been set, right? And then I can go, okay, well, the collision space for this tile is here, and so on and so forth. And now I should be able to figure out exactly which of these set tiles we've collided with. Okay, so I'm gonna write a to-do in here. To-do use contacts, use contact points. Okay, so shape is what we want. Use shape. It's nothing really, sir, but sir, I came from your generation. The JS native for... There's nothing wrong. I'm not using JavaScript. If that's what you're talking about. Yeah, no. Does it remind you of that, the code that I'm doing? Okay, so use the shape to get a list of... It does look like JavaScript. No, so what I'm using is called GDScript. So that might be one of the reasons why it kind of has its look in JavaScript. So Godot is an open source engine. It can support C#, C, C++, those guys. But it also has a scripting language called GDScript. They both can talk to the same sets of like APIs and all that stuff, and you can use the native ones as well. GDScript is a little bit like Python in its syntax, a little bit, but yeah, I could see how it looks like JavaScript a bit. But yeah, uh, this is the actual engine right here, and so this is the engine itself. But I'm actually using VS Code to do the coding in because I can't stand the editor in Godot. Oh, let me zoom in. There we go. Oh, that's a little too much. Yeah, no, I am doing. It's almost 4K on my monitor, and because I'm not a Twitch Prime or Twitch partner or whatever or affiliate, I can't stream at 4K without having other people suffer. Right. Yeah. So sorry about that. Yeah. So right. So what I've been struggling with this whole time is getting um, when two colliding bodies overlap, um, where what tile that's set that has that colliding body, where is that tile? So that's what I've been trying to figure out how to do. And it looks like I'm kind of fighting against the engine a little bit because this isn't something that people do typically, I guess, for some reason. Not the way that I'm doing it, which is I'm using a tile map for it. And traditionally, you would just use a tile map to do collisions, true collisions where you hit the body and then you stop or whatever. But in this case, I want to go over the space. So I have like the ground area and things like that. Yeah. And so there's a lot of weird stuff going on with my code. And I am now on a 52-inch. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll keep the code zoomed in, though, for next time. But I'm just going to leave a note for myself. I'm about to take off. But hopefully I see you in here, Sting. Oh, God. Watching people code on an iPhone. Ah! Yeah, you got to, like, pinch and zoom. You need, like, a magnifying glass or one of those, like, old school Game Boy zoom screen things. That's pretty funny. So I have to go because dinner's ready. But so what I'm going to do, I'm just leaving a note for myself. So I'm going to use the shape to get a list of tiles. Tiles that tile set vectors that I can look up their position in world and use the shape, what I'm calling shape, I'll put it in quotes. This is just so my brain doesn't forget because I'm old now. Use shape to get a list of tile set vectors that I can look up positions in world and adjust, compare to contact points to find the over the tile entered. So, okay. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, I'd love to show you all my code, like show you around and everything, but I am about to go. Dinner's ready. And then the game, if you look at what I'm doing right now, it's really embarrassing. I almost don't want you to see. But if you've been watching this whole time, so you know what I've been doing. Yeah. And this is all just slapstick. That's not the right word. This is just stuff I slapped together. This is awful. It's just a bunch of variables that I'm just like pounding through and checking some functions to see what I'm getting from it. Yeah, and this is me testing stuff. But anyways, yeah, I'm out too. And I guess normally I'd raid, but I gotta go, so I can't really do that. But Sting, I hope I see you again, man. Yeah, I think we could probably talk a lot, given that you're the same age as me. Cause yeah, a lot of people that watch me are a lot younger, and so I feel, I don't know. I mention things and they have no idea what I'm talking about. So, all right, man. You guys have a good night, and you are, but not by that much. Not by that much. And Cobalt, I gotta catch up on your stream when it happens. I can't just. I'm not even lurking. I just start the stream and walk away because I can't. I literally can't watch when you stream because it's like bedtime and everything. So one of these days, if you stream on the weekends, especially, that's probably my best chance of catching you. So once you get to be as old as we are, it doesn't really matter. We're all close, right? Anyways, all right, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow probably. So peace out, all that good stuff.